Shakur, did you think it was a draw?
Nah.
Who you thought won? Lamont? You still want the Tank Davis fight? You still want the Tank Davis fight? Do the draw take out a little steam or fire out of it, or is it still the same?
I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this. So.
Shakur, what went wrong for Shakur?
114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Hey Danny, what do you think about the fight, man? Was that a good decision?
Hey, Lamont came to fight. You can't take no credit away from him. I think Tank had a little off night a little bit. He was off a little bit tonight. But Lamont came to fight. You can't take none away from him. He earned that tonight.
Would you want a rematch and you think it'll go differently? Do 10x that?
I'm not even going to shit on him. But look, I want some money tonight. That's all I'm happy for. I want money tonight.
Shakur, tell us something, bro. Like, what did you think about the decision?
I ain't going to shit on him.
Okay.
We still got to see each other. He say he want to fight me, so we going to fight.
But what do you think about the decision?
I thought Lamont won.
In the early rounds, it was as though Tank was doing what he does and setting up a possible knockout or a probable knockout, which was what most people expected to see. And then over the course of the next several rounds, you saw that maybe the opponent, Lamont.
Decision by the judges. I think I pulled it out for the last 3 rounds. I'm sure I think I pulled it out the last 3 rounds. I was catching with some clean shots. I felt like I was breaking down as the round was going on.
I think he deserved the draw. Lamont came with his A game. He came ready to fight, fighting all night. I think the whole crowd was pretty much looking for that big punch Tank would land to see if Lamont get hurt, but he came ready. He came in shape. Shout out to Lamont. Shout out to both of them. It was a great fight. I think a draw was deserved.
What do you think about the inside Tank? There you go. So basically, he just says he went for Roach, to win the fight. It was a close decision, but he did have Roach winning. And ultimately, in terms of himself, he thinks that if he were to get the rematch, he just wouldn't allow it to end in the judge's hands. Like it wouldn't be a close decision next time.
What did you think about Ryu?
Tank looked like the guy with the heavier hands, but Lamont had the better chin. So it's all relative. So if Tank hits real hard, but the guy can take it, doesn't really matter. And I thought Roach was brilliant tonight. He had a good game plan, but those early rounds are what haunts him. He's gonna lay up at night that he wasn't a little more aggressive early on.
I thought they both put it out there. Roach definitely showed up and did his thing. But Gervonta Davis is the champ, and it takes a lot to be able to beat the champ. But Roach definitely had something that we all wasn't expecting. Might have been the power, his combinations as well. He definitely came to fight, man. He got great skills, and it was a great fight overall.
There was a moment where it seemed like he was kind of like bullying the bully. You think that was kind of a part of the tactic?
Yeah, I was surprised too because Roach is a little bigger than I thought. I didn't think he was going to be able to do what he did, but he ended up doing it. Man, congratulations to both fighters for making it happen and stepping up to the plate. And man, they went toe to toe at times, so it was great. It was great.
You think if they do a rematch, it'll be kind of a similar fight, or you think one will be able to make it?
I think it'll be a little different. Similar but a little different. I think there'll be a little bit more aggression this time, next time around.
I don't know.
Awesome, appreciate it, champ.
Last one.
Bueno, yo esperaba ver a un Rayo igual corriendo como lo hizo contra mí, pero creo que como se lo acabo de decir al compañero de ustedes, ¿no? Le dieron una probada de su propio chocolate y bueno, lo hicieron ver sumamente mal y bueno, creo que no es de que yo lo diga, pero pues ahí está. la pelea que dio Rayo ahorita ante un peleador que le huyó y que le metió las manos todos los rounds y Rayo no ganó ni un round.
He basically said, you know, he thought Rayo was gonna run like he did when they fought, but
Just because, could we say maybe because Lamont didn't come in really?
I think he got overconfident.
He got
I think he was thinking Lamont wasn't that good. I told everybody how the fight was gonna go. The fight went exactly how I said. Exactly.
After seeing this performance from Gervonta, do you believe your confidence has gone a little bit more up?
My
And possibly,
confidence been up. I've been who I was best.
Roach actually got stronger moving up 5 pounds to 135 pounds. He was able to take Tank shots without ever really being in any serious trouble. That, I think, was unusual and disconcerting for Tank. He got a little desperate in the late rounds and began throwing much more than is normally the case.
Fight someone else like a Shakur or another opponent, but overall, what are your thoughts of the fight?
I tell you what, the fact that Lamont Roach is as familiar with Tank Davis as
Sean Porter anticipated a fiercely contested showdown between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach on March 1 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Baltimore's Davis, 30, successfully defended his WBA lightweight title against 29-year-old Roach from Washington. The fight reignited old rivalries from their amateur days. Porter, a former WBC welterweight champion, had expected a tough battle between the two, given their history and competitive spirit.
with Tank Davis as he is, it goes beyond them fighting in the amateurs. They've spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank. He's seen Tank up close and personal, whether he's in the ring with them or not. That matters. When you know a guy.
Sean Porter highlighted Lamont Roach's deep familiarity with Gervonta Tank Davis, which extends beyond their amateur bouts. They spent time in camp together. He's been around Tank, seen him up close, whether in the ring or not. That matters. When you know a guy's rhythm, speed, and mindset, it changes everything, Porter told Fight Hub TV Davis, 30 and Roach, who turned 25 on January 1, were initially set to fight on December 14, but had their bout rescheduled for March. Boxing Scene reported earlier this month that Davis withdrew from the original date after the birth of his son in August, choosing to spend more time with his newborn rather than heading into training camp.
Rhythm, when you know their speed, when you know what they're thinking, that changes everything, you know? Saying all this to say that because I know we got a lot of people, it don't matter, when he get hit, he going to sleep. Just wait for it.
Davis enters the fight against Roach following a dominant 8th-round knockout victory over Frank Martin in June, marking his 4th consecutive stoppage win. Meanwhile, Roach has built momentum with 6 straight victories since his 2019 loss to Jamel Herring in the WBO 130-pound title fight. In November last year, Roach became a world champion by securing a 12-round split decision win over Hector Luis Garcia to claim the WBA junior lightweight title. He successfully defended his belt last June, stopping Irish southpaw Fergal McCrory in the 8th round.
Till he gets hit. And again, he's tasted that before. So if he gets hit and he doesn't go away, we got a fight on our hands, you know? I think it's a good fight.
Despite Roach's credentials, Davis's power makes him the favorite in their upcoming clash. However, Sean Porter believes Roach will be ready for the challenge on fight night. This might be a fight until he gets hit again and again. He's tasted that before. If he takes those shots and doesn't go away, we've got a real fight on our hands, Porter told Fight Hub TV. When you've felt that kind of power before, when you've seen that speed, it's different than experiencing it for the first time. Most fighters are surprised by Tank Davis's overall makeup. Lamont Roach won't be.
Good fight. I think that there's better fights for Tank Davis, but this is a good fight for him.
Do you think ultimately, as a story, like any Tank fight, like once he touches him, it's lights out?
We'll see. Like I said, when you've tasted that before.
Gervonta Tank Davis secured his 31st victory and 29th knockout while defending his WBA lightweight title against Lamont Roach Jr. this Saturday. Jim Lampley, the longtime voice of HBO boxing, will co-host a live chat on ppv.com during the event's pay-per-view broadcast, which is also available for purchase on Amazon Prime Video and through traditional cable and satellite providers. Lamont Roach Jr. has done his best to remain optimistic, Lampley said. He's pointed out his familiarity with Davis from their amateur days and understands the 135-pound champion's precision and power. He's motivated to start building his own legacy and recognizes the financial opportunities that could follow an upset victory.
He throws 28 punches per round, which is the lowest punch output of any major fighter in the sport, and he has a 94% knockout percentage, which is the highest knockout percentage of any major fighter in the sport. So those are two thoughts that
However, Roach has yet to present a clear strategy for solving the puzzle that has led to Davis's string of spectacular knockouts, making him one of boxing's biggest rising stars. Jim Lampley is highly impressed with Davis, not just for his devastating power, but for his overall skill set. Even without his shocking punching power, Tank would still be an elite lightweight, Lampley said. His crafty southpaw style, sharp footwork, and relentless killer instinct set him apart. Still, it's Davis's raw power that truly defines him. He doesn't just beat opponents. He annihilates them in breathtaking, often terrifying fashion. Lampley added, highlighting why the Baltimore native remains such a dominant force in the sport.
can't go together, but they do. And it shows you that he's either employing a new style that hasn't existed before, or he's happened onto something accidentally that makes him extremely difficult to beat.
Like a seasoned predator, Davis patiently stalks his opponents, counterpunching with precision before suddenly exploding into violent, decisive finishes. His knockouts are almost cinematic, reminiscent of a young Mike Tyson in his early career. However, Davis is now far beyond the developmental stage. He continues to outclass and overwhelm his opponents with ease. Roach, 29, from Washington, D.C., is the WBA junior lightweight champion. He has won 6 straight fights since his 2019 unanimous decision loss to Jamel Herring in a title bout. Though Roach insists he has improved, Lampley believes the outcome on Saturday remains clear. Davis is simply on another level.
Difficult to beat. I think there's all the logic in the world behind seeing the great attacker fight the great defender, and that means Tank Davis.
Roach has a solid background and is a highly competent boxer, Lampley said. But when I asked the most experienced boxing writer I know about Roach's chances, the response was blunt. The same chance a caterpillar has against a steamroller. Lampley predicts a mid-round TKO for Davis, paving the way for potential matchups against Vasily Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, or Keyshawn Davis, each of whom would pose a greater challenge than Roach. Still, the matchup itself is somewhat puzzling, as Roach is moving up from a lower weight class. Meanwhile, several enticing lightweight bouts remain on the horizon, including possible showdowns between Stevenson, Lomachenko, and rising contender Denis Berinchik.
Shakur Stevenson, but if he fights Lomachenko, if he fights Teofimo, if he fights Keyshawn Davis, these are great matchups too, and every one of those fights could be entered.
Robert Garcia, who trains WBA super lightweight champion Jose Valenzuela, believes a move to 140 pounds could be a solid option for Davis. However, despite criticism surrounding his opponent selection, Davis remains on track to face Roach early next year. I love watching his fights, but he needs to be more aggressive in choosing opponents, Garcia told Fight Hype. Make the right decisions. Don't let others decide for you. Say, I want to fight that guy, and make it happen. While debate continues over Davis's career choices, his path remains clear as he prepares for another title defense.
Threat for Tank. Tank is very talented, very skilled, and also very experienced at this point now. He's fought and seen.
There are champions who take control of their careers, and that's how we get the big fights, Garcia said. Fighting guys like Roach doesn't mean much. That's why these fights get postponed. There just wasn't enough interest or attention. For the latest updates on boxing news, major events, and unforgettable moments, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on top-quality content. Until next time, stay tuned, and as always, peace out.